can't, nobody know what you're thinking. So you ain't saying it. You ain't confess it. I mean, you got to speak on it. You got to be speaking on it because you know, if you really know what you're supposed to know, then you know there's benefit in what he's saying. Because he say he's going to do what?
Confess him. I will confess also before my Father which is in heaven.
Right, he's going to confess you before the Most High which is in heaven. Read.
But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven.
Right. So it says if you deny him, he going to deny you before the Most High. That's what Mashiach Yahushua. But the special one, there's no accusation going to be brought against you to the Most High because that's that little one that he loves. The one that's doing the work that's in the spirit of humility and broken the contrite spirit and loving the Most High with all their heart, mind, and soul and loving thy neighbor as thyself. That's us. We as a people. That's what it's all about. Now, going to the kingdom. Go to 2nd Ezra. The 2nd chapter, start at the 42nd verse. Since those that's going to confess him now by Shema Mashiach Yahushua, let's see the importance of it. Looking at the future of we got next. Under the power of Mashiach Yahushua and the Most High. Read that.
48?
42.
2nd Ezra, page 16. 2nd Ezra 2 and 42.
Right.
I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number.
We could not number. So great people we could not number. Read.
And they all praised the Most High with song.
Yeah. First thing we're going to do is praise the Most High with songs. We're going to be singing to him. And Mashiach Yahushua. Read.
And in the midst of them was a young man.
There was
a young man of a high stature.
This is Mashiach Yahushua. There was a young man of high stature. Read.
Taller than all the rest.
Taller than everybody. Read.
And upon every one of their heads he set crowns.
This is talking, the crowns being powers and authority. That's talking about the 144,000. 12,000 from each of the tribes of Israel. Every one of them he set crowns. Read.
And was more exalted.
Was what?
More exalted.
So to be more exalted, you have to be what before you can be more exalted? You have to be exalted before you can be more exalted. That's why it says, he that confessed me before men, I will confess before my Father. He was more exalted, read.
Which I marveled at greatly.
He's marveling at that greatly. Now, hold that, get Acts 5 and 31 right quick. No, 5 and 29 and 30.
Acts chapter 5 verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men.
So we're going to obey the Most High rather than men. Read.
The Most High power of our fathers raised up Mashiach Yahushua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
Wicked Israelites slew him and had him put on the tree. But the Romans did the actual execution. Read.
Him had the Most High exalted.
So this is Peter saying the Most High exalted. Him had the Most High exalted. The Most High did this. The Most High exalted the Mashiach Yahushua. Read.
With his right hand.
His right hand. That's why he's on the right hand side of the Most High. He is the right hand of the Most High. Read.
To be a prince.
To be a prince. Read.
And a savior.
And a savior. Read.
For to give repentance to Israel.
To give repentance to Israel and what else?
And forgiveness of sins.
And forgiveness of sins. Now Philippians 2 and 9. Let's see what Paul says concerning the Mashiach Yahushua. So now we see that the Most High is the one that exalted him, as Peter said, as the head apostle. Let's see what Paul said. Read.
Philippians chapter 2 verse 9. Wherefore the Most High also hath highly exalted him and given him a name which is above every name.
Right, so the Most High has highly exalted the Mashiach Yahushua. So who we going to follow? We going to follow the Most High? I am. Y'all looking like you're looking at me. Should we or not? I mean, you're not gonna follow the Most High. Come on, Khan, right? That's who we're supposed to follow. So the Most High is highly exalted him. The reason I'm here because You looking at how Hamashiach Yahushua said, you confess me before man, I'm going to confess you before the Most High, right? So now, the Most High has highly exalted him. Peter says the Most High has exalted him. Paul comes back and says the Most High has highly exalted him, giving him a name above every name, right? You got to keep this in mind so it's all going to go along with the Old Testament. But read where you was at in 2 Ezra 2 and 43.
2 Ezra, page 16. 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 43. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature.
Who's the Mashiach Yahushua, read?
Taller than all the rest.
Taller than everyone, read?
And upon every one of their heads, he set crowns.
That's the 144,000 receiving the powers and authority that they're going to have over this world, read?
And was more exalted.
And was more exalted. You can't be more exalted if you're not exalted in the first place. The Most High highly exalted him, give him a name above every name. Read.
Which I marveled at greatly.
Which Ezra marveled at greatly. Read.
So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these?
So what are these? What's going on here? Read.
He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing.
Put off these mortal bodies. Read.
And put on the immortal.
Living forever. Put on immortality. Read.
And have confessed the name of the Most High Yahushua. Now are they crowned and receive palms.
Right. Now they crowned with powers from the authority and receive these palms, but they have confessed by Shema Mashiach Yahushua to the glory of the Most High when they was in these mortal bodies. Read.
Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them?
So who is it that's putting these crowns on their heads? Read.
And he giveth them some in their hands.
Giving them palms in their hands. Read.
So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Most High.
It is who?
The Son of the Most High.
It is Hamashiach Yahushua. Future prophecy. Read.
Whom they have confessed in the world.
They have what?
Confessed in the world.
Whom they have what?
Confessed in the world.
We confess Hamashiach Yahushua in the world. We're going to confess you first and foremost before the Most High. Read.
Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for Bahashua Mashiach our power.
That's right.
Power.
That stood so stiffly for the Most High by Shema Mashiach Yahushua in the name of the Lord and Savior. Just wanted to bring that out because that's very important. Go back to Matthew 10, 32 and 33. So we went into the future just now, right? We went into the ones that's gonna be crowned. That's the 144,000 that we're reaching out for. Read this again.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 32.
Right.
Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven.
Right. So he said you confess him before men. He gonna confess whoever it is that confess the Mashiach Yahushua to the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in heaven. Read.
But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven.
Right, so you're going to get denied. Get Luke, the 12th chapter. Luke, the 12th chapter. And read verse 8 and 9. Luke 12, 8 and 9.
Luke chapter 12, verse 8. Also I say unto you, whosoever shall confess me before men, him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of the Most High.
Now you see, what do you see here that he identified himself as that we just read about? They asked who is this that put crowns on their head? Son of Man, right? Son of Man. So he identified himself as the Son of Man, as we see in the Apocrypha in the Old Testament. That's the prophecy that was given to Ezra. Read it again.
Also I say unto you, whosoever shall confess me before men, him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of the Most High.
Yeah, if you confess Mashiach Yahushua before men, you got to speak about it. You got to talk about it. Him shall the Son of Man also confess before the angels of the Most High. Read.
But he that denied me before men shall be denied before the angels of the Most High.
That's not good. That's not good. That's not good at all. But he said, but you deny him, because a lot of men don't believe in him. They don't believe in the Mashiach Yahushua. You know? Torah based and so forth. They don't believe that if you deny him before men, say he's going to deny you before the angels. That's not a good thing. That's not good at all, because these angels ain't no joke, boy. Look at Psalms 34 and 7. You want this to be happening. It's not happening, because, like I said, you can read the Bible frontwards and backwards. Let's see what it says going forward. Let's see. Psalm 34 and 7.
Psalms chapter 34 verse 7. The angel of the Most High encampeth around about them that fear him, and delivereth them.
So if you don't have the fear of the Most High, which is the knowledge of what we're going over, that's knowledge who's understanding of this word. So the angel of the Most High encampeth around about them that fear him, and delivereth them. We want to be delivered, don't we? We definitely want to be delivered from all the heinous madness that's going out in the world, man. When you step out your house, when you wake up in the morning, you don't know. Because think about it. Somebody, we sitting here right now, pow, pow, pow. You know, many times I've been on the phone and pow, pow, you're shooting. They got things taped all up right up the street. I'm coming out here, the whole street taped up, whole gas station, everywhere taped up. But here we are here, and it could happen. You know, people have been killed, man. Little innocent children, right? Drive-bys and so forth. You know what I mean?
Sitting in the house.
Yeah. It's that time where it says, if you fear the Most High, that's the protection that we have. Yeah. The angel of the Most High. And we all got angels. Get Matthew 18 and 10. You got angels on the right side, and you got angels on the left side. But you want to make sure them angels on the right side is dominant, strong, right? Shoot. Matthew 18 and 10.
Matthew chapter 18 verse 10.
Right.
Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones.
Don't despise one of these little ones, he's saying, read.
For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
So hey, you do that, then they're gonna come against you. They're gonna bring an accusation against you, against one of the little ones that's serving the Most High with all their heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and follow, loving thy neighbor as thyself. That's what this is all about, man. It's not hard. Get Numbers, the 27th chapter. You know, I like to go back and forth from the law, and then, we kind of get a little understanding. That's how we be going through the law. How we go through the law, and then we see how it manifests in the topics that we're dealing with. Numbers 27, and read verse 18.
Numbers chapter 27 verse 18. And the Most High one outside said unto Moses, take thee Joshua, the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay thine hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and give him a charge in their sight.
Right, so it says, take Joshua, the son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit. Everybody don't have the Spirit. Say, this man had the Spirit, and lay thy hand upon him, and set him before Eleazar the priest, before all the congregation of Israel. They could see this going on, and give him a charge in their sight, in the sight of the children of Israel. Raise him up, read.
And thou shalt put some of thine honor upon him.
Put some of the honor of Moses upon him. Moses was a powerful cat, man. Most I say he dealt with Moses face to face. Through a Mashiach Yahushua. Nobody seen the Most High. You know what I mean? But still he had his ambassadors that go forth. Always them angels always went by when, came from the forth of it to dealing with us here on the earth. Because they're here on the earth. Right? Go ahead.
That all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient.
Right. That all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. That's what the Most High wants us to be. Obedient. Following what he say do. His word. Get Ezra. Just so you know that they're going to be obedient to Moses setting Joshua up as a leader. Ezra, the 6th chapter. And I want you to start at verse 1. Ezra 6 and 1.
First, second.
Ezra's in the Bible. Now we're going to go into the Persian and Mede captivity. Like I said, most of the time we read the Bible, we in captivity. But when you look at, it's going to be self-explanatory, but you're going to see that when you look at this is right before the Greeks came into power, right? Persian Medes had us in captivity. Persians like Iran, they had a Persian over there. I forgot his name, but dude that's in charge of Iran, it will be the Persians, like the East Indians. That's the Persians. The Medes are the ones that's Japhet. Okay, we'll read this.
6.
Ezra 6 and 1.
Ezra chapter 6, verse 1. Then Darius the king made a decree and searched